And this is our third and final unboxing for a series of games that are all going to print together. They're actually all in print together right now. They will be done and shipped out of China just prior to Chinese New Year on 2024, which means the beginning of February, they will leave China. The first was Boblin's Rebellion, the second was Obelisk, and now the third, which really is the game that started this print run because it's the game that we ran the Kickstarter for, is Flutter. Now I have two boxes here, and I have done a series of unboxings and showing you pre-production copies and such throughout, but these are now, just like the other two, these are the MPCs, the mass production copies. These are exact. These are just the first copies that came off the assembly line. So they are exactly what you would receive. And it's essentially our final chance to say, hey, you screwed something up, or hopefully none of that. And this is just getting to show you how amazing and gorgeous these productions are. So without further ado, now, one thing that has changed over the course of the development of Flutter is the size of the boxes. Here are the two. You'll notice that the top one is notably thinner. That is the retail one, the one on the top. And then the one on the bottom is the Meadow-wood edition. The extra badge there indicating that. And it's got the special insert and the wooden components. So, but also, I mean, I find this kind of stuff interesting. Many of you may not care. But the retail copy is actually heavier. And the reason is all the punch board in here is on larger cardboard punch board sheets. And there's 12 of them or 13 of them. So that all is a lot of extra weight that you end up throwing out. Whereas the Meadow-wood edition, it's just the wooden pieces without all the extraneous waste. So interestingly, the retail version's heavier, even though it's a smaller box and a cheaper box for that matter. So we were going to start with the retail version. I will open the shrink wrap and let's see what this is like. Some of the things in the retail version that we had to change, there were the cardboard insert that's in here needed to be reformatted a bit. Also with the size of the boxes, both boxes, the inserts had to be adjusted based on that. So that's one thing. I'm sure there's a couple other things which I will remember as we go. So let's crack the seal here for this retail version of Flutter. And, well, I guess I can show you before we do that. So on the box, we have the cool Spot UV. You see all those triangles all over the place? Oh, that's a nice view right there. You can see the Spot UV. All those triangles all around here, those are not printed. There's no ink. That's just Spot UV, which is a really cool effect. It pulls that geometric theme that we have in the game forward, but it is only in the Spot UV. You would never see it otherwise. So there's the side of the box if you want to store it vertically, the other side of the box for horizontal, back, front. You know, we tweaked some of the graphic design of some of those aspects. Oh, there's the back of the box. Oh, the back of the box, we now have, so we have a couple things. We have the Mom's Choice seal of approval, gold seal, that's their highest seal. So this won the Mom's Choice Award, which makes sense, the kind of game that this is, but we're really proud of that. And also, we now have the FSC compliance badge printed on each of the boxes. We had explained that the game was made using FSC compliant materials. That's a different statement than saying the game, Flutter, is FSC compliant and approved to the point where we're allowed to use their badge. So this is now an FSC compliant game, as is the Meadow-wood edition there. So just these are some aspects that are very important to us that talks about the whole ecological, green, eco-friendly nature of the game and how we designed it, how we built it, and so on. Okay, so rulebook. As usual, when I get to this stage, I mean, I will look through this in detail later on, but there should be no expectation of any issues with the rules at this stage. We've gone through a number of editing passes and color correction passes and so on. So based on what I can tell, everything there looks fantastic. That is the Meadow rules for Flutter. Now, in here, I'll hold it up a little bit. We've got, stuff's falling. So you can start to see the cardboard insert. There's a section up here for these, just a spacer, and then the rest of the boards are all over here. And so let's start taking stuff out. First is our wooden sun, which is beautiful, nice chunky wood, wooden sun, heat printed on both sides. Very beautiful, very chunky. We're fans of chunky here at Phase Shift Games. That was not a comment on my weight, by the way. Okay, here are our chunky B tokens. So we've got one for each, very thick. You know, they stand up on the table, which is the point. They stand up nice and easy. There we go. So that you can place them on the tiles and so on. Okay. So we've got our white, green, yellow, blue, and purple or pink. Okay. And those are heat printed on both sides. Perfect. Then we have, these were also tweaked somewhat during the production. Many of you following along probably recall the petal tokens. We had to color the sides the same color as the token. So this is a yellow token here, and oh no. So the yellow token is printed in yellow on both sides, or all sides, all the way around, even though we have that brown tip on the front and the back. That's just one of the things we had to tweak. Same thing with the red one. We had to tweak the coloring so that you could tell the difference between the reds, the dark side and the light side. So those are now fixed. There's our purple petal token. And what did I not show? Yellow, red, oh, blue. And there's the blue ones. All right, so again, very thick. These are nice and easy to move on the tracker boards, which is the whole point. All right, so there's 20 of those. Then we have the tracker boards. So again, I'm gonna hold up the box here. These are the tracker boards in their inserts, which I'm about to pop out, and then they will have a spot up at the top here where they can always get placed nice and conveniently. So we got the garbage there, and then there's one of the tracker boards, and there's the spot UV effect on the critters, the butterfly, dragonfly, and so on. You can see that those have a nice effect on them. But otherwise, it is a petal tracker board. You're going to put those wooden tokens on there and track your petals. That's the purple one. There's blue and green. And on the back, of course, we just have nice logo print. White and yellow. All right. Perfect. All right, let's keep going. Then what's left in the main section here, this is why there's so much weight to this retail copy. That is, look how thick that is. I think it's 13 sheets of punch board, and it's very thick punch board. We did not skimp on this. We wanted these tiles to be, even in the retail version, we wanted these to be really elegant. So, I mean, you can hear it when I on the table. All right, so let's take a look. Of course, in each one of the punch sheets, we've got some pollen tokens. There's the 5, there's a 10, and they're purposely one-sided because on the back side, you're going to keep them hidden when you collect them. So no one really knows exactly how much pollen you have. But every one of these punch board sheets is going to have those tokens. I'm not going to punch them all out. And then every punch board sheet, of course, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. And these ones happen to all be red. And every one of the tiles has full spot UV on the pollinator in the middle on both sides. I think I was just able to demonstrate that very nicely there. So some of the things that we were focused on during the production here is the registration of all these petal tokens on all 4 sides. Going to get nice and close there, and you can see how they fit into the corners perfectly and on both sides. And it's just, you know, it's important. It's a tile laying game, and things are, you're laying them in all these different orientations, and you want the artwork to match up exactly right. So anyway, there's the hummingbird, and there's the dragonfly, and a moth, and a ladybug, a little guy. First one, of course, was the butterfly. So those are the tiles. I'll just quickly look through. There's going to be 3 sheets of each color. The petals are different on each of these, but the color of the pollinators in the center is the same. But if you look at the petal orientations, every tile is unique. So there's 3 sheets of red, then 3 sheets of yellow, and 3 sheets of blue. God, I just love this. Absolutely love it. And 3 sheets of purple. Nice. And then the last sheet, the 13th sheet, if you will, is this one, which has our rain bee, we call it, which is the starting tile, and he also has the spot effect there on both sides. That's the start tile. He's got some special rainbow petals in 2 corners. And then it also has, what is it, 16? 5, 10, 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 water tiles printed on both sides. One side will have the reward, and we'll talk about the spot UV there in a second. The back side is just plain water effect, so that they can be shuffled and placed face down. And these have stunning spot UV as well. That same triangular effect that was on the cover. You can see that same thing here, little smaller triangles, so that when these water tiles are placed on the table amongst the green meadow tiles, they just shimmer. They just create a gorgeous shimmering waterscape or pollen ponds. And that, folks, is Flutter Retail Edition. I think we are done with the retail. Yes, we are. So let me put those back in there. I have to weigh everything later and do some other little stuff like that, but I will push all this to the side for now. And beautiful. Rules. Really proud of what you all are going to have on your tables soon enough. All right, and that takes us to the much thicker Meadow-wood edition, where every component is now 100% wood, except for the rules, because that would be silly. 100% wood, whereas previously the tracker boards were going to be the same that you just saw over there. They were going to be card punch board, even in the Meadow-wood edition, and we decided it was wrong. It felt like a missing opportunity, a missed opportunity, and it was. So we it was much more expensive, but we bit the bullet and upgraded those to wood, which you'll see in a second. And once again, we've got that gorgeous spot UV on the cover, all the triangular effects. We have the special badge indicating that this is the Meadow-wood edition. Contains custom insert and 100% FSC compliant wooden tiles, tokens, and player boards. The rest of the box is identical. We got our Mom's Choice badge, of course, again, vertical storage side, and so on. And there's the back. The back does indicate, with these gray call-out boxes, the special aspects of the Meadow-wood edition. You can see there the insert and just indicating that everything is wooden. All right, let's open this, crack the seal. And let's see if we got everything exactly right. Again, rule book is number 1. And the rule book is identical. We did not make a different rule book for Meadow-wood versus the retail edition. The only thing we did, I think in one section, we mentioned, based on your product, quantities quantity of the pollen tokens may vary slightly or something like that. But basically, it's the identical rule book, and it's beautiful. And take a look. I'm going to grab the camera for a second. So there's the box. The player boards are actually slotted into the insert so that they don't move, and they lay flat and flush with the top of the box. There's one, and then 2 more here, and 2 more here. So the top of the insert actually has the proper slotting for those player boards. And these are the wooden player boards, tracker boards. So there's the purple one, and it's thick wood, and it's nice, it's flat, there's no warping, it's stunning heat printing, really vibrant colors. The back, of course, is the same thing with just the Flutter logo. You can hear the clack. Gotta love the clack. There's the blue, white, yeller, and green. I don't know why I say green like that, but I do. We had to tweak the coloring of the sides a little bit so that it matched the front properly. We had the same challenge with the water tiles, which you'll see in a minute. Love it. Nothing more to say about it. Okay, that's that. Then on the sides of the insert, we've got 2 bags of wooden pollen tokens. Let's take out a couple here. You saw the earlier punchboard ones from the retail edition. That's over there. And then these, now you can see how thick that is. These are the wooden versions, heat printed on both sides. The backs, of course, allow still for the hidden numbering. And these are all 1s, but there are also 5s and 10s in this bag here. So there's tons of these great chunky pollen tokens. Beautiful. Then these are the same wooden petal tokens. I'm not going to open the bag. They are identical to what I just showed you in the retail version. This is another area that we upgraded the retail version. Originally, it was going to have cardboard, and we said let's just use wood in both versions because they're so great, and using cardboard for little tokens like that is a little annoying. Same thing with the chunky bee tiles. These are identical, or bee tokens. So no need to reopen these and show them to you. They are the identical component. And that takes us to beautiful insert. Custom designed, custom molded. And there's the top. We even stamped the top with our company swirl, the logo from Phase Shift. And you'll also notice there's a notch up here. And that matches the notch in right here, so that you know exactly how to put this back on so it kind of snaps in properly. All right. So the way this would normally be here, harder to do with the camera, but we'll just do this. We'll do this. So we got the sun stored in the middle on top of the water tiles. Now for me, I would also, this is the rainbow tile, which is that starter tile. I would put that in the center as well and put the sun on top of that. And then that should still, where's the notch? There's the notch. That should still seal exactly right, and it does. So that's how I would close it in. Manufacturer decided to put this over on the other. It's the same size tile, but okay. Let me put it back down. So all of these tiles are the same. They should be the same thickness, I think is what we landed at. Yep, as the player boards. So exactly the same thickness as those. And two-sided with gorgeous, vibrant printing all around. There's some moths. Purple, 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 red. Gorgeous. And then here's some of the ladybugs. There's yellow, blue. I'm not going to pull out every tile. Got our butterflies. I will do this because that's always fun. Love the clack of these tiles. Love how vibrant the coloring is. Obviously, we also played with the whole thing about with the wood ones. Do we let the wood grain show through versus printing the triangular texture, which is what these have? Pros and cons both ways, but in the end, this was what more of our backers wanted to see, the lush green. I was personally a little resistant to that. I really like the idea of the brown wood grain showing through, but we made the right decision. This is Flutter. I mean, this feels right. It feels like the right look for the game. And certainly the quality is off the charts. All right, what did I not do? That's all the butterflies. Then we have, oh, we'll get back to that in a second. Here we've got our hummingbirds. Purple, 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 blue hummingbird. Yep. Also, something else, I had known other games with similar wooden tiles with heat printing like this, that when they shipped out, I don't know if they didn't let the pieces dry enough or something like that. And when you get them in the mail, when you first open it, you would some of the pieces would stick together a little bit, and you'd have to peel it off and hope that the printing wasn't affected by that. These are there's no issue with that at all. These are perfect in that regard. It was something I specifically mentioned to them because I did not want to have that problem. So these, they did whatever they had to do to make sure that that didn't happen. So there's our dragonflies, yellow, purple, my favorite color. Okay, and then lastly, in the center are the blue water tiles. We definitely had some coloring issue with these, both on the face, the back, and the sides. But these are exactly what they are meant to be. That one's meant to be blank. There's two that are blanks. You don't always get a reward, you greedy people. Sometimes you get nothing, and you'll be happy about it. There's a pollen token bonus there. Otherwise, a couple petal bonuses. And somewhere in here's a rainbow. There's a rainbow petal bonus on some of them. Okay, and so there are those 16 tiles, and they slot in the center. And that is it for the Meadow-wood edition and the retail edition. The only thing that remains is for backers, which I assume you are watching this. You also get a metal sun, which is really cool. See that geometric texturing that it has there? It just catches the gleam. I don't know whether you actually use this or not. We made sure that the bottom is nice and smooth so it wouldn't scratch the tiles. If you actually want to put this on the tile stacks, you can. But more than anything, it's just gorgeous. So it's a really neat, hefty metal, I guess bronze. Whatever that shiny gold metal is, probably electroplated if I remember correctly as well. So you'll get one of those as well. What else can I say? That is the Meadow-wood edition of Flutter. I've got to pack everything back up so I can do my final checks. I gotta weigh things, inspect every single tile, but just get these back in here. The sun goes there, the notch is there, and of course the tracker boards. 2 go there, 2 go there, 1 goes there, and you can see how fast I just did that. And there is the final packed thing, and of course that whole thing would go right in the box. Well, folks, this is the end of. It's interesting. I would say this is the end of a long project. Ironically, not nearly as long as the previous project, Drop Drive, for all of the various reasons that I won't rehash here. But this one, you know, three full games are coming out here, and they're all fantastic productions. We're super proud, and this is it. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being with us on the journey. This is probably the last video I'm making for these 3 games, other than playthroughs, you know, as we go, and you'll see some reviewers and things like that. But this really does mark the end of this project. The next thing is just going to be about getting them to you through fulfillment, which I expect that process is going to go really smoothly as well, knowing all the companies that we have involved that are supporting us. And then we move on, and we have some amazing productions in the works on the horizon after this. Like, our next 4 Kickstarters are pretty much planned at this point. Our plan is to run 2 major Kickstarters each year, and focus in our strategy on 2 particular lines of games. Of course, one of them you might guess, knowing us as you do with our drop line. That is certainly one of the key areas of focus for us, but not the only one. So stay tuned for much more greatness to come. And thank you to did I introduce the designer here? So the designer of Flutter is Matt Boncha, we think is how you pronounce his last name, and the art by Stephen too. So tremendous production, and thank you all again for being with us. Stay tuned for more greatness.